Start us off with some announcements.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Nice to see all of you. Hello. Hello. We did it. We're here. We made it. So exciting. Thank you all for coming. A couple announcements. If you need to use the restroom, please go in that door and follow the signs to the restroom. You can purchase more wine if you would like to. This is being live streamed, so you could text all your friends right now and tell them to log on to our Facebook page and watch it live streamed. Trying to think of any other announcements. We're hoping to do this more frequently. We're just kind of seeing what the restrictions are and how this goes. And since it's sold out tonight, we're really excited about that and hoping to do more in the future. We're very happy to have the Christopher Brown Quartet back with us tonight. And thank you so much for being here. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Christopher Brown Quartet.
Much. You guys able to hear me all right? Hello, 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 hello. 1, 2. All right. Hearing a lot of ring. Maybe I'll stand over here. Feels a little bit better. All right. Put your hands together for the great. Great Ross Garlow on the bass. John Nastos on the saxophone. My main man going on 20 years of friendship and musical, I mean, he's essentially actually, I've never played with the piano player more than I have than with my man Greg Goebel here, so. He's one of those guys that, my name's Christopher Brown, as you guys already know. Yeah, you can go ahead and clap for that, I guess. So born and raised in Portland, Oregon, left and joined the Marine Corps out of high school, but every time I would come back home on Christmas holidays, I would always make it a point to try to put together a show. And I remember there was a guy, I won't say his name, but air this cat out. No, I remember, of course, that was back before we had PDFs, so you had to go to the post office and print out the music and put it in the manila envelope, and you send it out 3,000 miles away. So the guy, he bailed on me the day before the gig, and I was like, man, you gotta be kidding me. And keep in mind, like, you know, I sent him the music at least 3 weeks in advance. We had a rehearsal set up, and he's like, sorry, I can't make it. So I asked a guy by the name of Farnell Newton, who's, in fact, we're about to play one of his songs next. And he goes, or I said, do you know of anyone who might be able to handle this music? He's like, there's a new guy in town named Greg Goebel. He's from out of Eugene. And I'm like, is he cool? He was like, yeah, he's cool. I'm like, you sure he's cool? He can read and all that stuff? And he was like, trust me, he's cool. Then Greg came in and sight read the rehearsal like he wrote the music. And I literally like haven't looked back since. So every time I've come home, I've always made it a point to build groups around Greg. So for any of you, well, actually, I've never seen any of you guys before, so you have no idea what the other iterations of my bands have looked like. But if you had, you would notice that Greg is the mainstay. So one more time for Mr. Greg Goebel on the piano, my right-hand man and musical partner in crime. So this next song I'm going to play for you is entitled The Roots. Like I said, this is a song of Farnell Newton's. He did a record a few years ago, I guess about maybe 3 years now. All right, one Farnell, all right, two people. And so he put out a record called Back to Earth, and this signifies him getting back to his roots of playing jazz music. He's done a lot of work with like a lot of hip hop stars, and so this song actually speaks to that, and it's called The Roots. And this is kind of a tip of the hat to anybody know the name Christian McBride? Yeah. All right, so well, what was that record? Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. Point is, this is very much again a nod to Mr. Christian McBride, and so here is The Roots. Thank you very much. That last song was entitled Connections by our very own Greg Goebel. One of the things I usually like to say at my shows is that music is what brings us together, but it's the off-the-court conversation, so to speak, that you have that keeps people coming back time and time again. To me, any kind of artistic endeavor is really just serves as a portal for you to be able to evaluate other people's values, if you, right, makes sense? Meaning, no one will come up to you and say, so tell me your values. You're like, dude, I just met you, what are you talking about, right? But we will infer based upon the clothes that we wear, based upon the words we use, based upon the subject matters that we choose to broach. And so I think the substance of the conversation, or the substance of the relationship, which is predicated upon the conversation, is predicated upon the thing that you collectively came around, that you guys were able to coalesce around. So if you were around something that's of high artistic integrity, then that's going to color the way you have your conversation. You see what I'm saying? But if you're around something negative, then chances are what you're going to talk about is something negative. So what we're trying to do here is create keep the bar as high as we possibly can, in hopes that when we talk to you afterwards, that will lead our conversation in a much more fruitful direction. Does that make sense? Cool. So this next song we got for you is, well, it's an old jazz classic, but with an updated twist by a fantastic pianist that actually used to live in New York City for a long time, played with all the greats, but he's been the director of jazz studies at Portland State University for, I guess, would you say, about 20 years now, John? Something like that? Anyway, his name's Daryl Grant, and so this is his take on The Way You Look Tonight, the way you all look tonight. Pretty, huh? That's great. So this next song we got for you, kind of keep it sort of in the same pretty vibe, but give you a little more juice to it. This is an old Stevie Wonder classic entitled Overjoyed. We're absolutely overjoyed that you guys are here with us. We could have never, obviously none of us predicted that 2020, this is what 2020 will look like, right? But in the spirit of jazz, as well as the Marine Corps, this is all about improvising, adapting, and overcoming, right? And so you could have, a doomsday mentality about what's happening, or you could see this as an opportunity to take advantage of some other opportunities, right? I would have never thought that I'd be doing this, but COVID gave me an opportunity to do this, and it put me in front of all of you. Never met you before, right? So hopefully after this show is done, we will be able to keep in contact some way, somehow. And so again, that's the power of not only music that have brought us together, but also having an open mindset to explore. That's one of the great things I love about Carissa, is that she has like a childlike, don't take this the wrong way, where are you at? Like a childlike mentality, in the sense that children are open to new possibilities, right? They're not riddled with convention, and they don't ask, or they don't say, well, I don't see how that's possible. They're like, how is that possible, right? And so we've never done this before, and obviously you guys are all here. So in the spirit of art, children, and curiosity, we're glad you guys are here. And that's kind of what it is that we're really doing. This is just life stuff, just put through this medium, through this lens. This is the language I understand. And so because I love music so much, I want you to love it the way that I love it. So this is why I spend a lot of time. Like if you were in my office, you would probably see a ring on the floor and the carpet, because I spent a bunch of time walking in a circle, figuring out how to explain what I understand about music to the intellect of a 6-year-old. Because my concept is, if I can explain it to a 6-year-old, I can get adults fired up about it, right? So, she's like, wait a minute. But you know, it's about being able to make things as palatable as possible. And so we're always trying to tread that line of pushing you, but also being inviting at the same time. So anyway, here's our version of Stevie Wonder's Overjoyed, and we kind of try to do the same thing here, sort of pushing boundaries. So again, here's Overjoyed. Saxophone. John Nastos on the saxophone. Man, that's not easy. That's ridiculous. Here's a little. All right, so here's a fun one. You guys remember "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" by the band Tears for Fears? Well, here's our version of it, twisted version of it. Put your hands together one more time for Mr. John Nastos on the saxophone, as well as Greg Goebel on the piano. So I guess we got let's see, we've got a 5-minute until we take a little break. Is that what we're doing? Take a little break? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a little break. But it would have gone over great here, though, is the thing. People start throwing you 50. To a short second set because I guess we're ending at 8:30. But put your hands together for John Nassos on the saxophone. Mr. Ross Garlow on the bass. All the way from. Is there anyone here from the East Coast? Anybody? Oh yeah, I know you. Brooklyn, where? Oh my man, from where about? Flatbush. Oh, I know it well. Okay. Yeah, after I left the Marine Corps back in '99, I moved out to New Jersey. And so, just because it's cheaper to live in Jersey than it is to live in New York City. But all my work was in New York, so I spent my time I hung my hat in Jersey, but I grew up really in New York City. So anyway, Ross Garlow happens to be from the great state, or the great city of Philadelphia. And then on piano, one of my oldest and dearest friends and musical partners in crime, Mr. Greg Goebel on the piano. So obviously, we're all kind of, we're living through a pretty important inflection point right now in society, right? And so without going too deep into all of that, I think this next song kind of adequately sums up where we'd all like to be, right? So this is an old Burt Bacharach song entitled What the World Needs Now. One of the things I guess I forgot to mention earlier is that there is a tip jar. I guess I'm not really speaking to you guys, I'm speaking to the people out in the interwebs. There's a tip jar or a, why can't I think of the words, Jeff? Tip line. There it is. So yes, just give us all your money. All right, so enough of that. Does anyone have any questions? Actually, I know this is like kind of random. You know, we don't have like a Q&A at a jazz show typically. But one of the things I was thinking about was there are more people who have never played sports that are kind of experts at sports. And the reason being is because there's a lot of people talking about sports who are credible practitioners of any game, because you got ESPN, you got SportsCenter, you got newspapers, you got magazines, all these things. So you're constantly hearing people wax very eloquently about the nuances of the game, but you never hear that in jazz music, right? You're just like, there's this thing. It's like a, I don't know. It's like a shirt. Like you go, where the hell do shirts come from? Obviously, we know where shirts come from, but you never actually hear people talk about the process of a shirt. It's like they just magically grow on a rack, on a hanger, right? And so this is my opportunity, or I like to take the opportunity to maybe answer a few questions that people might have about jazz music, because it is kind of mysterious for a lot of people, because again, no one ever talks about this stuff in public. So does anyone have any questions you've had about what you've heard so far tonight, or any long-standing questions? You? Great question. So the question is, how often are we improvising within the framework of a song that we're playing? It's kind of the whole time almost, but there's a lot of structure, way more structure than most people actually think. What's a good way of putting it? Yeah, I mean, we're all talking about the same thing, but everyone is kind of interjecting their feelings about the subject matter, right? And so just to kind of give you, in fact, check this out. Here's something that you guys can, a nice take home, because even like if you ask a lot of professional jazz musicians, you ask them this question, you might probably stump them. So you guys, I'm giving you something that'll give you a leg up here, right? So I remember when I first got to Rutgers University, there was this guy by the name of William Fielder. He was kind of, everyone called him Prof, right? He's like even if you didn't go to Rutgers, you still called him Prof anyway, right? He was the trumpet guru teacher to like the stars, like Whit Marsalis, Terence Blanchard, all these people. And so when I first met him, and what's funny, he's like the nutty professor. So I remember like, he had no peripheral vision, but he could see you directly here. So if you're standing right here, he had no idea you were there. And he sounded like an old Mike Tyson when he would talk, right? And so usually whenever people talk about it, they usually have to do like the voice, right? I'm not gonna try to imitate his voice, but anyway, the point being is when I first saw him, someone goes, "Hey, here's here's Prof. William Fielder." And I said, "Nice to meet you, sir." I stuck my hand out, and he looked at it, and he looked me up and down. I was like, all right, this is about to go sideways. And he goes, "Young man," I guess I look at, see, I can't help it. I'm doing the voice. And he's like, "Young man, what is the definition of jazz?" And I pulled out some garbage answer, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, oh man, I'm about to get it, right? And I love what he said. He goes, he goes, "If you don't know what it is, how do you know if you've even been doing it?" I was like, whew, that's heavy, right? And so he goes, "Here's my definition. Use it until you find a better one." I got to thinking about it. Anything you think you know, that's kind of how it goes. Like, here's my definition. You give me a better one, I'll use that until I find a better one, right? So his definition of jazz music, which I haven't found a better one since, is jazz is a term used to describe popular American music at the turn of the 20th century that has its roots in ragtime and blues. Blues didn't come from ragtime, ragtime come from blues. They're like two siblings that grew up in the same exact house, but once they graduated high school, they went off in their own separate directions, developed their own identities, right? And so I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And he goes, so ragtime is ragtime is like saying rap music. Rap is it's not music, rap is a technique, and you apply that technique to music. So ragtime has to do with ragging, and ragging is a word that people use as an old slang term that describe people who make embellishments upon pre-existing music. So you go, cool, got it. What was the music of the turn of the 20th century? It would have been light classical music and John Philip Sousa marches, right? Makes sense, because if John Philip Sousa is the Jay-Z or the Michael Jackson of the day, then other people are like, I'm gonna do the same thing because I gotta pay my bills too, right? And so that ends up being the popular sound that a lot of people end up playing with. And so I remember thinking of it like that. I'm like, oh, so you can say that for almost anything. You say like, well, what is salsa music? It's a term used to describe insert answer later, right? For example, Tito Puente, apparently he was vehemently against calling salsa music. He's like, salsa is a tomato paste from Mexico. That's not what I'm playing. I'm playing Cuban-derived music. However, there was so much energy and support for the term salsa. He was like, whatever, I'll call it salsa. But in my brain, I'm not playing salsa. I'm not playing food. I'm playing Cuban-derived music. See what I'm saying? So anyway, that's like, I totally spiderwebbed on your question, right? But the point is, the framework in which we're playing is we're all playing off of the same thing. We're just giving our commentary on the same thing. And we have a lot of latitude to really push and pull on the structures of things. And what's exciting is there's a term that existed in the early '80s called burnout. And burnout just meant you're like, that's the musical equivalent of the X Games, right? You're like, how do you practice doing a 720 in the air on a snowboard? You're like, that's ridiculous, right? But the thing that's really exciting about it is when someone lands it. So you're treading the line between it being totally controlled and it completely falling apart. And you're trying to stay like on that line. And so you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work. But he made it. It's like a car that's on its side. You're like, it's either gonna go like this or it's gonna go like that, right? And we're trying to exploit this to make you feel as uncomfortable as possible, to play with it, and then we'll give it to you later. You're like, oh, thank God you guys made it, you know? So, any other questions real quick about?
I have a question about a day in the life of COVID. What does a musician feel is in your future? Because we want to hear you, but how do we support you? How do we hear more of you? What's next?
That's a fantastic question. So the question was, how are basically we musicians pivoting going forward, right, in this COVID era? I think really the thing is if musicians are intentional about it, they'll still take this time to build their own individual brand. So the thing I've been doing lately is I've been blogging a lot, trying to basically sell the value proposition of music and to show someone who might even be like a stay-at-home mom, to let her realize that a lot of what you do, I can show you how to understand what you already know just in my language. Like everything is kind of the same thing, but the thing that gets in the way is words, right? You ever had a situation where you're arguing with someone and you're like, man, this person's just not getting it. The thing you come to realize is the words you're using, even though we're all both speaking English, the way you understand those words is different than the way I understand the words. So what gets in the way is language. So I'm always trying to bring people closer to me through the language of music and try to help you understand how this thing that we do is not some amorphous thing that you can't really wrap your arms around. It's closer to you than you think. You just don't know the words. You just don't know the terminology. You know what I mean? I remember one day trying to make myself smart and read a medical book, and I'm like, this hurts, like my brain, to figure this out. But then you talk to someone who knows how it goes, and they're like, oh, well, this fancy word just means this. You're like, great, why didn't they just say that? You know what I mean? So anyway, to answer your question, I think it's you locking onto musicians who you find that you like, and just kind of see what they're up to. And I think the Chehalem Cultural Center is doing a fantastic job of helping us to pivot in this way, to where we can still continue to, or you guys can continue to support live music, hear it, and to do so in a COVID-friendly way. That makes sense? Yeah. Any going once, going twice? All right, huh?
Think about adding a vocalist?
Yes, great question. So a lot of the music we do is popular '80s music deconstructed. So remember in the movie Back to the Future, where I think it was the second one, and Biff took over the world, and you're like, this is what would happen if Biff had been able to go back in time, right? And so a lot of these songs that we like to do is us basically going back in time and saying, what would happen if we wrote those songs, like these iconic '80s songs? So to answer your question, yes, but it's really hard to find vocalists that are able to keep up. And I hate saying it that way, but it's kind of the truth, because there's so much stuff moving moving up underneath us. But here's the trick, though. I write the songs in such a way that you don't have to know our arrangements. You just have to know the original song and let everything underneath you move. But you have to believe that you understand or that you know the song to the best of your ability. So you kind of almost have to ignore us and just go on autopilot, and we'll follow you, right? Or we'll not follow you, but we'll support you. So we have had a few vocalists that have done a fantastic job, but generally speaking, it's really difficult for them to be able to handle that. So I'm still looking. That makes sense? All right, cool. So with that said, we'll go ahead and finish off with the song entitled Summertime, old jazz classic, done with a very cool new school twist by a guy by the name of Joshua Redman. And this is definitely one of those. Oh, cool, Joshua Redman fan. This is definitely one of those we're going to try to like ride that tightrope really hard, right? So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we make it on the end. So here we go. 2, John Nastos on the saxophone. Mr. Ross Garlow on the bass. The great Greg Goebel on the piano. And again, yours truly, my name is Christopher Brown. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Again, for those of you out in the on the internet, there's a tip line if you'd like to use that. There's also a number of other things aside from us being here. Obviously, Carissa's fantastic with being able to curate. That's right. Give Carissa a round of applause. Her tireless devotion to duty to make the Chehalem Cultural Center. She does sing. That's right. She does sing very well. Encore. You want to sing something with us? So anyway, yes, please keep supporting the Chehalem Cultural Center with all their endeavors, and we look forward to being back again. So with that said, get home safe. And if I have not met you yet, which is kind of like pretty much all of you, I would love to get a chance to at least spend about 2 or 3 minutes chatting with you. So thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. I'm Carissa. For those of you who don't know, I feel like I know almost all of you. Thanks so much for coming. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, John. Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Greg. It was so much fun to have you here. Beautiful night, perfect weather. I mean, what a dream. Thanks so much. We are going to try and do this again in August, so keep watch. If you aren't signed up for our newsletter, you should sign up for our newsletter. That's a good way to keep up to date on what we're doing here. And I think, like Chris was saying, we're always trying to find how we can improvise, and art will always happen, so we're going to keep trying to do stuff like this. I'm trying to think of last things. Thanks to GMS Media tonight for live streaming for us. I believe it is recorded, so the recording will be available, so if you want to watch it again, you had so much fun, you can watch it, or you can also show your friends. Thanks so much. Have a good night.